PlayStation says no to physical media, but we can let them know that we don't need them. We have old consoles, we have the secondhand market, and we can enjoy our physical media without them. So I bought a PS3 in 2026. I've never owned a PS3. Honestly, I've never really owned any console before my Switch. My brothers had an Xbox 360, and my family had a Wii for a short period of time, but we only had the Wii Fitness game and Lego Indiana Jones. So I don't have any nostalgia for retro PS games or the PS3 at all, but I wanted it because I do love physical media and I really love old retro media as well, even if I didn't experience it or have any nostalgia for it. This is kind of heavy to hold, by the way, but I just wanted to show it. This is what it looks like. I got a pretty good model. I looked up different model numbers, which ones were the most reliable. I got the console from somebody that I knew. They were clearing out their basement and they were like, does anybody want this console? They sold it for me for 75 bucks, which is pretty good. I also got some games with it, and it came with a controller and a little wire too, but I didn't want to bother showing them the video because then I'd have to deal with a wire and I'd probably trip over it or somehow get it tangled on my neck and it would be a disaster. But anyways, this is the controller. I think they look pretty cool. I've never used a PlayStation controller before, so the sort of like normally with Xbox, there's like a difference in height. These are like beside each other, so that's very new for me, as well as the shapes. That'll be an interesting experience to play around with. It's a little dirty. I still gotta clean this up, but honestly everything is in great condition. I've already tested it as well. Everything is working. I was a bit worried because when I turned it on initially it didn't turn on, but then I guess I just like pressed a button for a certain amount of time and it like rebooted or something, and then it was able to turn on. I've got it all set up in my living room and I'm so happy. I want a lot of these retro consoles. Like I still want a PS2 for sure. I'm interested in getting a PS1. I do want to get an Xbox 360, especially since I want to play Minecraft on the Xbox 360. I love older eras of Minecraft that were like console editions or pocket edition as well. I especially loved how there was like not an endless world. There was like world borders or just like some like janky mechanics. I find them really charming. But anyways, I do want an Xbox 360 even though my new Xbox is backwards compatible. And I really want some older Nintendo consoles as well. But this was sort of like right place, right time. Somebody that I knew wanted to get rid of it, and so I was happy to grab it up. I already have quite a few games that I'm currently playing or that are on my backlog, and I don't want my backlog to grow super large. So I did buy one game at a retro gaming store while I was there, but other than that, the games that I have so far are just games that came with the console. And unless I find a Dreamy for pretty cheap or I find a really good bundle on Facebook Marketplace, that's something I'm looking out for always, is a good gaming bundle with a bunch of games for cheap. I've only been ever so lucky on Facebook Marketplace to find really good deals like that, but they do happen once in a blue moon, so I'm always checking over there. But yeah, unless I get that once in a blue moon crazy situation to happen, I'm not planning on buying a lot of games right now because I do have some games for the console and I do already have some games that I need to play on my backlog, and I don't want it to grow too big. I want to like keep it manageable as I'm like starting this gaming journey and collecting and buying games, which is so much fun. It's really fun buying and collecting games, but sadly you cannot play games as fast as you can buy them. So I gotta be like keeping that in my mind. Anyways, I'm gonna show you guys the games that I got for this console, and I would love to still know, do you have any recommendations? What are some games to look out for? And do you have a PS3? Are you playing anything currently on your PS3? So the game that I bought at a retro game store is God of War 3. Now I was confused because I thought that the old God of War titles, I thought there was only one, but I guess there's three. Like I thought it was God of War Ragnarok, and then the new one that's coming out beginning of next year. I thought those were the three, you know, like I thought that was the trilogy, but apparently there's God of War 1 and 2 and 3, and then is the God of War, because I've seen it on Steam, is that a remake or is that the original God of War? Is there a subtitle that I've never read? I actually don't know. Maybe I should have Googled that, but I didn't. Yeah, I thought that this was the God of War. I didn't realize the like Roman numeral, the little shine, the Roman numeral 3 that's happening in the back. And I should have too, because it even said on the price tag, it said God of War 3. but I clearly was not paying attention. Let me know, do I have to buy, or should I buy the original 2 God of War games before playing this one? Should I just play this one? I don't know. I probably will be getting the first God of War game anyways. Is it even on the PS3? Am I gonna have to wait until I get a PS2? I don't know, but I'm still happy I got this. It was $15, so I don't really care, and I do really want to play these games anyways, so it doesn't really bother me that much. Okay, I actually forgot, but this game is actually empty. I don't know where the disc is, but it's Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. I think that's what that says. So I can't play this game, but I have the case for it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the case. Keep it, I guess. Am I a hoarder? I don't know. Maybe if I ever buy a loose game or something like that, then I can use this case, I guess. But would you recommend this game? Is this a game that I should think about playing and have to buy the actual game? Because obviously I can't play with the case. That'd be kind of cool though. That'd be some pretty cool technology if I could. I've also never seen Dragon Ball Z, but he kind of scares me a little bit. He's really veiny and big. He kind of freaks me out. I don't know who this guy is. Blondie over there with the big muscles, but I do have to say he's a bit frightening. That is not a pleasant smile. Or maybe that's a scream. I think he's screaming. Okay, maybe I shouldn't judge him. He's clearly in a moment of intense emotions. So anyways, I'll leave him be. The next game that I got with the console is Final Fantasy 13. I believe that's how you read Roman numerals. Clearly I just have a problem with Roman numerals. It has little stickers, I guess, from or residue from when it was bought. Whenever that was, back in the day. Oh yes, I put them inside actually. Wait, was it bought in 2010 or was it bought new in 2010? I don't know, but it was bought from EB Games, Canada for $40. And it comes with the manual, which is always awesome. I love these things. They're so cool in my opinion. Why did we stop making these? I know it's because of profit, but still they're so freaking cool. I love it. But the question is, where do I start with Final Fantasy? I've never ever played a Final Fantasy game. I was thinking about buying the remastered versions of the old pixel art games, the original games. I can get those on Steam or Switch, which I think would be really fun. Is that where I should start though? Is that where people recommend it, or is it better to play those games once you are invested in the story with newer quality of life titles, if that makes sense? For me, if I was recommending Zelda, I feel I would recommend somebody start with Breath of the Wild if they haven't played older retro titles, because they might really struggle with the older Legend of Zelda games, and then they might not be able to get into the series, right? So I'm wondering if the same thing kind of applies to Final Fantasy, or if I should start with the originals. I don't know if the story is the same throughout, if it's a linear story. I doubt it, because there's 13 games, and also I think there's 100 spin-offs. I think there is actually 100 Final Fantasy games, which is insane to me. This was the game that I actually play tested to make sure that everything was working on the PS3, and there was a save file. The person that I got it from obviously didn't delete anything. They didn't even know if it was gonna work because they didn't have the proper TV to plug it into and stuff, but I just so happen to have a TV that you can plug in the white and yellow and red. I think that what prevents some people from testing these or something like that. I don't remember why they couldn't play test it, but anyways, I play tested it here and they obviously couldn't delete the save file, so I got to see where they were at. And the cool thing was it also told me when they saved, what time, what date each save was, so I could see when they started playing the game and when they dropped it. And I wonder if they thought about it, the last time they played this game, if they realized that they were never going to pick it up again. And that was way back in 2011, which is so crazy to me. But yeah, another game that I got for my PS3. Also, I really like the PS3 logo up here. I like the black strip, and I like the font. I don't know, I think it looks really cool. And the last game that I got in the bundle, and I believe this game is actually worth the entire price that I paid for the PS3, which was $75, because it's actually sealed. Okay, it's Tales of Xillia? Would you say Xillia or Xillia? I don't know, actually. It's a limited edition, it says. I don't know. Should I open this thing? I'm not sure about it. I've never heard anyone talk about this game. I guess it's a JRPG, looks like. It's got some pretty cool art. And yeah, I've never heard anyone talk about this game before, but I'm also not super involved in the JRPG scene. And there are a lot of JRPGs as well, obviously. Like any gaming genre, there are billions of games to exist. But part of me wonders if I should even open this. It's like a piece of history, and it's completely sealed. And I am not the type of collector that's like an inbox collector. I like to take things out. I want to play with them. I want to experience them. But for some odd reason with this, maybe it's because I don't have a lot of like actual investment in playing the game. So to me, it just seems cool to have it sealed and keep it sealed. But I don't know if that's kind of just silly. So I don't know. Let me know if you've played this game, what you think of this game. Should I try the game out? Should I open it? Do I unseal the sealed package? I mean, who knows when this was sealed? It looks like it was probably around 2013 that this was contained, you know? That the air inside of this exists in 2013 still. Should I let it out? Should I let it breathe? Once I make the decision, I can't go back. And that's the scary part. So these are the games I have. Scratch Dragon Ball Z though, because I don't have the game, I just have the case. I have 3 games then for my PS3. And I guess technically scratch this game if I'm ever going to play it because it's sealed. So I have 2 playable games for my PS3. But I'm still very happy with it. I low-key want to try and find a easy game for me to pick up and put down. I'm thinking maybe something like Little Big Planet. I've heard good things about that. And I feel like a puzzle-y type of game would be easy for me to like pick up and drop, unlike a really heavily story-based game. Because I do want to play with my PS3, especially because it's new and fresh and beautiful to me. But I don't want to start a huge story-based or JRPG game right now, just because I'm already playing quite a few story-based games. I'm currently playing 5 games right now, which is more games than I'd like to be playing. So I'm trying to finish some things up before I start anything new. So I guess I probably will be buying one more game for my PS3 in the near future. I'm just not exactly sure what it's going to be. Maybe a racing game as well. That could be really good. Once again, it'd be so easy for me to just like pick up, play it for a little bit, test things out, experience it. Especially with the controller, I really want to try the controller out, see how I like it and stuff. So having a game that would be really easily accessible and easy for me to jump in and put down and then get right back into would be fantastic. I also only have 1 controller right now, but which apparently, does this thing have Bluetooth? Why is it glowing? Wait, does it have why is it glowing? I don't know. I thought it needed a cord. For some odd reason, I feel like Bluetooth didn't exist back then. I have no idea if this is Bluetooth or maybe it just glows sometimes. Maybe I clicked a button that makes it glow. I don't know. But as I was saying, I only have 1 controller. I would like to get another one so then I could also maybe get a game that's co-op and play with other people. I really love playing these older retro titles. I guess retro isn't probably super applicable since the PS3 I think is only like 15 years old. What would people call this? Maybe I should say nostalgia? I don't want to say nostalgia 10,000 times, but there's got to be a good word to like describe these. I guess just older consoles. Outdated? No, not outdated. They're still beautiful and lovable. But anyways, okay, I like experiencing these older games on these older consoles with other people. I think it's really fun, especially people who also existed around this time. Even if they didn't use the console themselves, it's still like weirdly fun for people to like go back and play games with bad graphics or with clunky mechanics or just on older machines or whatever. Collecting physical media is such a privilege and I'm so grateful that I'm able to. It's not a cheap hobby by any means. And it's also a hobby that requires a lot of space. Like I said, there are other consoles that I am interested in buying and I only have so much space inside of my home. I am hoping to move next year sometime, so hopefully able to move somewhere a bit bigger, maybe even have a dedicated gaming room. How cool would that be? But when I find good deals or when the situation just sort of works out, stars align, I am really happy to still be getting things for my collection and the things that I am looking for, but I'm still doing it at a decently slow pace. I know it kind of seems like I'm getting a lot of hardware all at once, and even I kind of feel like it, like I really don't want to rush into things, but I am also worried about the prices of everything going up. So when I get a good deal, or once again, when the stars aligned, I'm not gonna like say no, I guess, to an opportunity, but just know I'm not being like crazy impulsive with all of these decisions. I mean, really the only reason I got my handheld was because my Xbox was so cheap. I already had the money saved up for a Steam Deck, didn't get a Steam Deck, got an Xbox for $100. So I had, once again, more leftover money, and that's really what I used for my handheld. And then I bought this just because somebody was looking to get rid of it. It's a reliable model, and nobody wants to go through Facebook Marketplace. Okay, nobody wants to sell anything on there because people are evil on there. So I was helping somebody out actually by purchasing something that I really wanted. It's also crazy how many old games there are. Like, I think somebody even said there's like roughly like 2,000 games for the PS2, like just in the States, in North America. There's about 2,000, but that is crazy. And that's on the PS2. We have so many older games, older consoles, physical media that's going to last for years from years past. We have options, and I think it's really important to remember that, especially with all of the gaming news talk being very negative, very pessimistic, which is a fair reaction to everything that's happening, and I totally understand with it and sympathize with it. But I do think that there is a lot of hope and a lot of joy to be found in this hobby. There are so many games that we can play and enjoy, and we would never have to buy a newer title ever again. We would never have to buy a newer console ever again because there is the secondhand market, which is exactly what PlayStation wants to get rid of, I believe, at least. I think that is the biggest plus for them getting rid of physical releases, because the secondhand market is something that people can use for years and years and years and years. So I think now more than ever, it is a great time to remember that the secondhand market is available. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on the PS3, why I got it, why I'm very happy about it, and what are my plans in the futures as far as utilizing it. Looking into the world of older consoles has also gotten me really interested in trying to repair broken consoles. That's something that I really want to try now, or modding consoles. One thing I really want to do is try and find a Switch Lite for cheap, especially with a broken screen, because then it'll be very cheap. Because I saw somebody put in an OLED screen in their Switch Lite, and I've also seen people do full like shell replacement, so you can get, you know, maybe like a really sleek white shell on your Switch Lite. I had no idea that that was even an option, like the OLED screen part. The fact that you can just change a screen out like that is so cool, but also I understand that kind of high risk, high reward, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But that's something that I really want to do now and try out. So I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace and stuff to see if I can find a really cheap Switch Lite that I could play around with, or just any broken console for cheap. A lot of people weirdly are selling these broken consoles for like almost the same price as a working console. It's funny how sometimes people have genuine junk on their hands, but they want to act like they're doing you a favor. They're like, no, I'm gonna give you my junk and you're gonna thank me. Anyways, I don't know how much I'm actually going to be doing in that area, how much I'm going to be recording, but that's just been some thoughts that I've been having. But the main things, of course, are that I got a PS3 and I just love it so much. I'm just so happy that I'm now involved in this world of outdated gaming. There's so much fun to be had, just years worth of amazing video games that I've never experienced, and I'm so happy to be here, ready to experience them all. I also think playing things on original hardware is super cool, by the way. Still have not really figured out anything about emulation. It still confuses me a little bit and freaks me out. I don't know why. I get scared that I'm gonna download a virus or something. Knowing me, I probably would. Which is why it's so funny that I'm interested in like trying to repair old consoles and stuff, or building a cyber deck. I forgot to talk about that, but like, you ever see people doing cyber deck stuff? Those are so cool. I love checking it out. But I'm like the least technologically brained smart person ever. You can tell by that sentence. Clearly I'm not with English either, but you can always learn new things, and I always love learning new things. So happy to be here. I'm happy that people are watching and enjoying these videos. It is so fun that I get to ramble, document, and that people seem to enjoy. I've got more videos planned for the future, so subscribe if you're interested in that. Like, comment, and thank you all so much. I will see you guys next video. Goodbye.